I actually played and reviewed Synth Riders back in the days of the original PSVR headset, and I bloody loved it. So much so that I gave it a rare perfect score of 10 out of 10, and for me that's saying something because for one, I'm a hard man to please, and two, Synth Riders is basically a dancing game, and I'm anything but a dancer. In the club, I am this guy, not this guy. Though I have been known to get a bit wild when under the influence. So what's the deal with Synth Riders on PSVR 2? Well, it's an improvement for sure, and it earns its remastered moniker with massive improvements in its visuals and some basic gameplay improvements that come by way of the new hardware strapped to your face and in your hands. For the most part though, this is the same game. The gameplay is 100% the same, and that's fine because the gameplay is phenomenal. As I said, I'm not a dancer by any means, but Synth Riders had me swinging my hips for hours at a time, so much so that before long, my view of the neon dance floor was interrupted by the PS5 telling me that my controllers were low on battery. Think of Synth Riders as a blend between Guitar Hero, Beat Saber and Box VR. You've got the rhythm-based gameplay of Guitar Hero, the minimalist Tron-like environments of Beat Saber, and the punchy ball-bashing gameplay of Box VR. It's an excellent blend, and once you've had a taste, you'll be reluctant to let it go. Synth Riders was a great looking game on the original PSVR, and it's even better here on PSVR 2. There are no massive changes to the setup, mind you, it's just the extra clarity that brings the colours to life in a way the original headset just couldn't do, though I will refrain from ragging on the original because honestly it's still an exceptional game and one of the best you can play on Sony's foray into VR gaming on PS4. Another highlight of Synth Riders is its soundtrack. I am a one-note man. Literally, my Spotify only has The Killers and Brandon Flowers' solo albums. Yet Synth Riders continues to break down my barriers, and I've fallen hard for some of its electro-pop anthems. I've even become a bit of a fan of the rock band Muse because of Synth Riders. The game has an extra mode, which plays out as a spectacular visual show with licensed music from some big names. So big, I can't risk actually playing their tunes here in case YouTube throws us in the digital slammer. But they really are a visual treat. The only downside is, they are locked away behind DLC. I'm fortunate enough that I already own Synth Riders on PSVR and with it all the DLC, which thankfully carries over at no extra cost for PSVR 2 owners. But if you're coming in fresh, I'd understand the frustration at one of the highlights of the game being tucked away behind a paywall. But that's business, and even without the DLC tracks, you're still getting a massive amount of content to play through, and it's great value for money. The only real criticism I have here is, 1, it's been 2 years and they've still not managed to put together a DLC pack featuring The Killers, okay that's purely a me thing, and 2, the move to the PSVR 2 has actually introduced a new quirk that wasn't a problem on the original PSVR. With the Sense controllers being a fair bit more bulky than the slender rubber-tipped PS Move ones, there's now the occasional issue where I'd knock my controllers together when the notes came close together, and that's an issue that wasn't present on the original. It's not a deal breaker, and with a slight adjustment of my hands and the right amount of anticipation, it's easily avoided, but I'm a worrier, and I'm scared of being a bit too in the moment that I'll smack my controllers together and cost myself another fortune in replacing the things. All said, Synth Riders Remastered is a fantastic game, and I stand by my original score from a couple years ago. It really is as pure a video game as they come. Great for whiling away the lonely hours on your lonesome, or passing the headset around friends and family. Just make sure you wipe the headset between plays because, trust me, you will be sweating buckets with this one. And that is the end of this review. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, do us a solid. Go on down below, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and give the bell icon a ding so that you're notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.